This is the Datsun redi-GO AMT, and it is one of the most affordable hatchbacks in the country that offers an AMT transmission. But has Datsun cut any corners to achieve this price tag, and how does it fare in everyday usage? Well, I spent about 3 months with it, and here's what I think. Let's start off with the numbers. The car stayed with us for about 3 months or about 90 days. During this time, we drove the car for a total of 3,931 kilometers, which comes out to be an average of 43.6 kilometers a day. And most of these kilometers were spent in the city, including several driving conditions. And throughout this time, the thing that stayed constant was the fact that the redi-GO is one of the best looking cars in its segment. The design is sharp and the car stands out thanks to its tall design. The addition of LED DRLs and the swept back headlamps make it stand out. Once you are inside the car, the first thing that you will appreciate is the commanding driving position and the excellent visibility that the driver gets. In terms of ergonomics, the car feels spot on. But all is not perfect. So yes, the cabin is airy, there are a lot of compartment spaces around, and it's overall a good place to be in. But then there are two things that I didn't really like. First is the infotainment system. In this day and age when car makers are offering Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and touchscreen based infotainment systems, this really sticks out as a sore point. The other thing is that the outside rearview mirror has to be adjusted manually, and I wish that wasn't the case. Other than that though, there was nothing to complain about inside the cabin, not even when you are seated at the back. Now the advantages of being a tall boy design really shine through when you are here seated at the back. So the driving seat right now has been set as per my height, which is 5'10", and I have decent knee room on offer. However, I have great headroom on offer as well. When it comes to having 3 people seating abreast at the back seat, well, that's going to be a bit of a squeeze. Coming to the quality of driving that the car offers, the AMT transmission variant comes with the 999cc 3-cylinder engine option that develops about 67 horsepower at 5,500 rpm and 91 Nm of torque, which peaks at 4,250 rpm. The engine is decently powerful, but the fact that the peak power and the peak torque comes in so high up in the rpm band, it often makes the driver work the engine and the gearbox quite a bit to squeeze out performance from it. And when you do so, the engine gets quite audible inside the cabin. It is clear, however, that Datsun has tuned the engine to be efficient over everything else. And on that front, the redi-GO does make up for a lot of ground, as during our testing it delivered an efficiency of 17.4 km per litre. And talking about the gearbox, it comes with creep functionality, which creeps the car automatically when the car is in drive mode and you lift your foot off the brake pedal. And this comes in extremely handy during chock-a-block traffic conditions. And of course, you can control the gear shifts by simply flicking the gear lever to manual mode, wherein the gear shifts are then operated by simply pushing the gear lever ahead or backwards for downshifts or upshifts respectively. This allows for better control over the gear shifts when required, for example during overtakes and uphill climbs. While the gearbox proves to be extremely helpful in driving conditions, it does feel a bit slow on open roads, as it takes a bit of time to recognize the driver input and decide whether it needs to upshift or downshift, and that can get a bit annoying. It is best driven in manual mode on open roads. As for the driving feedback, the suspension setup makes for an excellent drive quality during good roads and bad roads alike. There is a little bit of an initial body roll, but the car manages its height pretty well during fast corners. The steering is light and easy to operate and provides good feedback to the driver. The brakes too have decent bite on offer. So yes, there were a few things which we wish were a bit better, but when you consider the price tag that the Datsun redi-GO comes at, well, it will make you forget most of these things. The redi-GO's key strengths are the driving feedback, good suspension setup, and oodles of space inside the cabin. And most importantly, it gets the basics right of being a good daily car. Now to answer the big question, should you be spending your valuable money on this car? Well, if you're looking for the ease of an AMT transmission and you want a hatchback that's good for daily runabouts in the city, then the Datsun redi-GO serves its purpose fully well and you wouldn't mind having one of these.